Hello and welcome to the Lost Confederacy channel. This is week 3 of the 13-week fiscal program for American Prisoners of War. Today you have myself, Chief Vico, as well as Chief Blackcoat. And here as always, we focus more so on that first letter in the acronym APOW, which is American. Today I will start off with the 12 steps, with the 13 practical steps for recovery. Go ahead and share my screen. All right. Step 1, learn about the estate or estates your family originated from. Step 2, hold on. Can you still see my screen? Okay. Yeah. Step 2, who established that estate? Step 3, what tribe and confederacy had jurisdiction over that area prior to the European? Step 4, ask all nonprofit organizations you attend, what's your position on reparations? Step 5, they either support it or they do not. No support equals no money. However, if they support it, then children and adults need weekly classes free of charge about steps 1, 2, and 3. In addition, field trips to APOW landmarks in that city, county, and state are needed. Step 6, don't support European holidays for the remainder of the 13-week time frame. Step 7, avoid spending money with any small business that doesn't hire your people, gas stations, nail salons, subways, corner stores, etc. Step 8, all businesses need operating cash, spend money with American businesses. Step 9, all other groups rely on our energy and operating cash to survive. Set the trends of making other groups follow our lead and support our clubs, services, products, and entertainment. Step 10, the US government is bankrupt. The Federal Reserve prints money, i.e. quantitative easing. It also burns money, i.e. quantitative tightening. The US dollar hasn't been backed by gold since Richard Nixon in 1971, the gold standard act. The government operates off the full faith of its citizens to pay debt and taxes. American prisoners of war no longer have faith in the US government. This is why financial support will be altered, stopped, and redirected. Step 11, teach your children 1 hour a day about their history on this land. A, have them learn about an American inventor. B, have them know about our heroes. C, they should know the European that conquered the estate you live in. And D, they should know the nation of people prior to the European invasion, militarily and culturally. 12, practicing these steps will educate us on the land we're claiming America and attaches us to the history and laws of the United States government. Every estate American prisoners of war live in should have steps 1, 2, and 3 advertised via social media, radio, and newspaper. This in 13 weeks, 1 fiscal quarter will bring us together for our common cause. As always, we like to go ahead and just highlight one of the steps that kind of just stood out to us, whether it be today or this week. I'll go ahead and start with mine. And I'll say, really, I'll probably go with subsection D, but really just knowing, who, what tribe or confederacy had jurisdiction over that area. So I'll go with 3, and it kind of just aligns with subsection D in step 11, but just knowing like who we were prior to the European, going back to knowing that actual tribe name, that actual nation of people who were in that area and that we pretty much come from. So again, just going back to your roots, asking your elders if you have them alive, with you, to say, hey, asking them the question. May have to put it in terms where they can understand it. So just be like, hey, do we have any Indian in our family? They pretty much will tell you exactly what you already know. They just gonna explain a little further, and they're going to go into detail because they want to talk about that stuff. So definitely go ahead and take advantage of that if you all still have, any elders in your life, that are, present. Now I'll let you go there, Chief Blackcoat.
Sir, appreciate it, Chief Bico. Today, number 8 is kind of sticking out at me, even though it kind of corresponds with step number 6, not spending European or not spending money. So that'd be number 7, avoid spending money with any businesses that don't hire your people. But quote 8, or number 8, all businesses need operating cash, spend money with American businesses. We're just moving forward, or we're trying to move forward. All of these steps are great steps to practice, especially for the children, to raise them up with these type of steps in mind. But Number 8, all businesses need operating cash. 2019, 2020, when COVID hit, a lot of our peers, friends, and Americans created small businesses to help us thrive throughout the pandemic and the lockdown. And a lot of great ideas came out of that pandemic. If we would have stuck to a code at least, or a code of some sort, we could have been able to trade goods, funds, or revenue with all of those businesses that came out of COVID. And we could have done it better. So number 8 is sticking out to me. All businesses need operating cash, spend money with American businesses. In order for us to move forward, we have to spend our dollar with the people that look just like us. Giving our money to the Arabs, the Asians, the Africans, that's just money gone. It benefits us in no way if we can give it to ourselves, even though you're exchanging, but still giving it to somebody that looks like you. This group can move forward. We're kind of stuck on the big businesses or the big clothing designs, and we're afraid to kind of just start at the bottom and help a friend out. And I don't think we're afraid. We're just kind of sold on Louis being the most popular brand versus one of our guys from our hometown and his. So we got to kind of scratch the brain a little bit and erase some of the brainwashing done to us and that sold us on European clothing designs, and spend our money with American businesses, American being us. So that's what sticks out to me today. Number 8. Can go on all day about that one, but I think number 8.
Great point. Great build on that too. Go ahead and have you share your screen for the American Inventor for this week.
All right, so today's inventor is Charles Richard Drew. He is the father of the blood bank. If you don't know what that is, and going to hospitals, today he is the pioneer or the trailblazer for when you go into a hospital, you see an IV pretty much dropping blood. He invented the blood bag. So he's known for the preservation of blood plasma. He understood how to separate the plasma from the blood and freeze the plasma. Again, this is Charles Drew. He is the godfather of the blood bank. He was born June 3rd, 1904. April 1st, 1950, he died. He was born in Washington State. He went to school on a scholarship for athletics. Him of 13 others, so he was with 12 other guys that got selected to go to the school, to college on a athletic scholarship. Completed 4 years, and he found his passion in science. Again, this is Mr. Charles Drew, the inventor of the plasma bag and actually understanding how to extract plasma from blood. Now this photo to my right, maybe your left, there's a little criticism about the photo, is that really, Mr. Dr. Charles Drew. I've seen a lot of other photos out there when I type in Charles Drew, and there is melanated men that do pop up with darker skin. So this guy right here, right now, is who they're saying is Charles Drew, but we know he's an African American. So not saying that guy to our right isn't an African American, but he has a lot of fair skin. So just keep that in mind. American Red Cross, all of your big hospital, all of your big charity donations, a lot of this stuff was because of Charles Drew and knowing how to transfer or preserve blood for somebody else, and also the bag that actually preserves the blood. So again, Charles Richard Drew, he is the inventor of, or the father of, the blood bank, and that comes with the extraction of plasma from the blood and also the actual bag to preserve the blood and plasma.
Thank you there, Chief Black Coat and Great Bill, Great Inventor for this week. I know me and you know him pretty much straight from the South Side for having a school named after him.
Right,
Uh,
right.
so
Right
that's
in
good to know.
Riverdale.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was just looking through my list, just again, we do this every Sunday, finding a new person. I saw Charles Drew. I said, hold on, I grew up knowing a Charles Drew, but it was a high school. Who was this?
That's
So
good to see. That's good to see, and also good to highlight. Shoot, we have creators and industry makers and these scientists that really changed the world. That really changed the world. I'll go ahead and do the quote for this week. This week's Dr. Woodson quote. I'm going to go with step 12. Step 12 for this week. The Negro, in his present plight, however, does not see possibilities until it is too late. He exercises much hindsight, and for that reason, he loses ground in the hotly contested battles of life. The Negro, as a rule, waits until a thing happens before he tries to avert it. This one kind of just spoke out to me, just really resonated with me this week, just in regards to, actually us having a plan. As Chief Black Coat stated earlier, we do this every week. We list off the different steps. We plan out what we're going to be, reading for the next week. So it's just like, okay, if we could do this on just a small scale, we should be able to do this on a larger scale, especially when it comes to just our group of people. So again, just practicing, foresight instead of hindsight. Again, just planning ahead, having a goal, seeing where we want to be at as a group of people, and then taking those steps, whether it be, baby steps or large leaps, we just have to move forward in order to attain that goal. So definitely something we all need to be practicing, not only in our daily lives individually, but also just as a collective, having a plan and actually, going after that and having that foresight to where we want to be, that way we aren't at the, lowest tier per se in this, on this land. Let me see, did you?
that's a great quote. I like that quote just because, again, if we watch other races and forget about race, I hate that word. If we watch other groups of people that look the same, act the same, and practice the same traditions, they kind of always have a foresight type of mission or drive to get somewhere. And our not saying my group doesn't also have foresight, but we're still trying to strive to be, entrepreneurs. Everything for us is considered small businesses. Having that foresight, now to move forward, and then generations and generations can reap the benefits off of, we definitely gotta adapt that piece of knowing, okay, yeah, it's cool living now. Exactly. But when I'm done,
I want to be able to leave something. Correct. And I think that's something, that's been really, I would say, programmed and, the propaganda, live for today, don't worry about tomorrow, live your life in right now. I know I need to be thinking about tomorrow because I'm thinking about my kids who I ain't even got yet. You know what I'm saying? So that having that mindset is what you really should be having. Of course, enjoy the moment, but also that doesn't mean don't plan ahead. Because sometimes I think those can get confused, and kind of just highlighted something a roommate had told me about earlier, just in regards to him visiting Asheville, North Carolina for his birthday. Basically, that whole town is run by one family, the Vanderbilts. So you think about one family owning like a whole town. Every $20 that gets spent is one of their dollars coming back to them. So if we're thinking about this and the way he was telling me about it, like they have an estate of 8,000 acres. 8,000. We have been reading about estates of 160 acres given to, the settlers. So this family has 8,000 acres. He said it takes 45 minutes to drive from one part of the estate to the other. If we're thinking in Atlanta, where I'm currently at, trying to visualize my home, if I'm out in Riverdale on the south side, that's going to take me 35 minutes. So this man, basically, this family has an estate that's from, let's say, the smack dab center of Atlanta past Riverdale. That's all in it. So it just like puts it into like, it's even hard to put that into perspective for one family. Like the house, one wing takes 2 hours to walk through it. Like it's unimaginable type of wealth. But again, if you hear the story, he's like, okay, I built it to this much and I left it to my son. We had 100 million. He flipped it into 200 million. So again, he's having that foresight to say, you know what, I'm good, but I want to make sure this lasts for my family, for generations to come. So let's start putting steps ahead. So I just say that to say we have to practice foresight. It's like non-negotiable if we want to survive, or if we want to have something where our kids can actually survive on.
Right. And you said practice foresight, like literally you have to practice it.
Mm-hmm.
And that just starts in the mind.
Correct.
It's free. You don't have to do much, but once we gain that confidence in ourselves, the group will gain confidence in each other. And Dr. Carter G. Woodson kind of pointed that out. That's shit crazy.
Correct.
So yeah, we're doing legal definitions now. We jumping into legal definitions.
Yeah. Go ahead and hop into the legal definitions, and I have the maroon points on this page as well.
All right, so legal definitions: American, indigenous to America, descendants, one who follows in the bloodline of an ancestor, either linearly, collaterally. Slavery, a situation in which one person has absolute power over the life, fortune, and liberty of another. 4, prisoner of war, a person, usually a soldier, who is captured by or surrenders to the enemy in wartime. 5, school, an institution at which instruction is given in a particular discipline. 6, education, an enlightening experience. And our newly word added, which I think is definitely needed, recovery, a return to a normal state of health, mind, and strength, the action or process of regaining possession of something stolen or lost. So those are your legal definitions. We're going to jump down to the historical points. Number 1 was a person escaping slavery, seeking freedom, or breaking the law. Number 2, provide unity and a strong defense came first. Number 3, Maroon leaders were first and foremost military figures. Number 4, Maroon established guerrilla warfare, planting sharp sticks in thick grass. Number 5, Maroons knew their European enemies' language, defense, and plans. And just one quick thing before we move on, just when we're doing this channel, just throw it out there. We're talking about the American, how to become back to being American and how to move forward. But we're talking about the American. And I hear a lot of different terms for the American out there. We got Black American, American Indian, Negro, the nigga, the nigger, all of these terms that were, provided for us or pushed onto us. We're just talking about ourselves. We're talking about the American. Nobody else plays with words from where they come from. They stand on who they are as far as the Asian, the European, the African, wherever they're from, they stand on it. We can stand on being the American. It's not hard. That's who we are. You don't have to add different colors to it or any other words to it. Shit, you can add North American if you want to, even though we're probably not in, so, but other than that, we're talking about the Americans, which is you, if you're watching this channel, or probably not you, but we're talking about the American who is Black.
Great point, bro. Great point. And it needed to be said, like you said.
Right.
We're not talking about some imaginary group, because we are that group.
We are that group.
Great point. Last but not least, we'll jump into the Constitution. Read the constitutional readings. First and foremost, Article 1, Section 10 states that no state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque and reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts. So again, as we always read in our 12 steps, Step number 10, the only thing as far as payment of debts according to the Constitution is gold and silver. We know in step 10 that the gold and silver were taken out of the United States during the Gold Standard Act. So the Constitution, again, is saying that the only thing that can be used as payment towards debt is gold and silver, and that our money is no longer backed by gold and silver,